Episode 8 of Seraph of the End Season 2 was actually a pretty good episode, but at the same time, the preview for next week, it definitely kind of like messed it up. Now, it's obvious that, you would not die because here's our main character, but come on now, do not ruin our suspense here. Let us think maybe that there's a chance that, you might not come back, and it's possible that, the Shinwa squad might all be our new main characters, but no, we saw in the preview now that seems like he's gonna fight someone, but we have no idea. And I do wonder just how in the world will he come back from this, because not only did we see him fighting, but we also saw Mika holding him, and obviously Mika was hurt, and then we also saw Shinwa actually protecting him as well. So I cannot wait to see how next week plays out. But like I said, this episode, it was crazy. It was definitely crazy. But at the same time, it was also pretty dang good. And so we see now, last week we got that cliffhanger ending where we have Crowley about to attack you. But then we see now Kimi with that speed, he actually protected him. And then we see now that Yoshi and Mitsuba, they also came in there and attacked Crowley as well, and I will say that their teamwork has gotten a lot better, maybe not with you, because he said so himself that, he has not gotten the whole teamwork thing down just yet, but I will say that they all worked really well together. But obviously against, Crowley, Chess and Horn, which is too much for them, but I will say that their little combo attack, it was definitely nice to see. And we even see now, my boy Guren, he is now left there, which is definitely messed up. But, hopefully, Guren will not be killed, because sadly they had to turn back because we see that, there was no way they could take on all three. And even now their time had ran out. And so we see now, even though they all made a promise to retreat no matter what, you here has still wanted to go back and actually, get Guren. And we see now, Guren says something to Shinya. And we see now, we have no idea what he said, but Shinya obviously knew. And so we see now that when you here was still trying to go get Guren, we have Shinya, taking control, and now they all had to leave, to retreat. Otherwise they will all get captured, if not killed. Because obviously, the Crowley, Guren here was the only valuable one because he is the leader. And so right now they were not going to let them escape. But then out of nowhere we see lava come from the ground, and we see that they were all trapped in an illusion thanks to the smoke guy from the Guren squad. And so now we see that Crowley, he had realized that this illusion, it was too powerful because it affected even a noble's brain. And he stated now that humans in the past, they definitely were not capable of this. And so right now he was wondering who in the world was giving him these spells and making humans, a lot stronger. So it seems that, this traitor, he is definitely, helping the humans out by making them stronger to go against the vampires. And I will say that it was definitely cool to see how the Guren squad was able to hide in a lava, while still trying to, to rescue Guren. But obviously because Crowley is so freaking overpowered, they were unable to do so. And right now Guren was telling them to retreat. And even though, none of them wanted to do that, they had no choice but to back off. And then we see the power of Crowley again, where we have him, unleashing this one attack that actually got rid of the illusion. And not only that, we also saw him destroy part of the building. And so right now, with Guren still captured, it's definitely not looking good for him. But at least now we know that Guren will not be killed right away. And so that right there means that there's a chance in the future for him to be rescued, and hopefully that will happen before it's too late. And now going to Kureto, who we all know as the leader, and I'm saying that with air quotes, we see him now getting ready to move out with all these men, and we see now that his brother, I believe his name was Seshiro. We see now that he was sitting here to watch Kureto from orders from their father, who we all know is the founder, the leader of the demon company. And so right now we see Kureto, right now he was like flipping the script, and we see him changing his like destination from originally, where he said, like they were going, because now he was like going to stop the vampires and Nagoya. And so right now we have Seshiro, asking him, what are you doing? Do you think you can like betray our father or go behind his back doing this? And we even see now, Kureto was like a useless idiot who was not even fight on the front line, should like shut up and and be quiet. And we see now that that his brother had like grabbed his collar, and you can just sense you can just see the like killing intent all along, Kureto's face. And so right now, Seshiro, he was lucky that, Kureto did not kill him, because, he was like still useful. But we see now that when he tried to get, Kureto arrested, he actually got 2 men killed, and that right there was messed up. But now Kureto was like, go wait in the prison, and when I come back, with power, I will use you. So I do wonder if Kureto, actually does want to overthrow his father, because that right there will be messed up. But right now, this guy really thinks that like he could somehow save the world, and that right there will be crazy if he actually, pull this off. And so now, going back to, you, Shinoa, everybody else, we see them now that they all managed to escape, and then we have them joined by the Guren squad as well. And obviously, they're all shaken up, because right now they lost Guren. He's a prisoner for the vampires. And so we see now that all of them were like definitely upset, and we see now that like he was like taking it the hardest, and we see him now kind of like in a funk. And then we get this flashback of when when you was like younger, after like Guren had saved them, and we see now at one point he had this nightmare about when Farid had killed his family, and that right there made us scream. And we see now Guren had came in there and checked up on him. And so we see now, like pretty much the important part was, Guren asked him, did he find it painful to live? And, at first, you was like, I don't know, but then he said that it was like very painful to be alive. And that's when, Guren said that like, they are similar, because Guren also failed to save someone. And I do wonder if that person he was talking about was Shinoa's sister, because obviously we know that like Shinoa's sister, I believe they said she had, some kind of crush on Guren, or was like obsessed with him, but but they had some kind of like twisted relationship. And so because of that, I do believe that, she was the one, or, she was the person that, Guren was like talking about. He was like, one day, someone will like need your help. And I'm pretty sure, you were thinking that, that time was like now, because we see now back in reality, he could not accept, leaving like Guren behind, even though they all made this promise. He could not turn it back on his own family. And so we see him now do something rather crazy, where he actually takes like 2 pills, and we learn now that he actually took 2 earlier. And so right now you took 4 in total, and we all know 3 was like instant death. And so right now, we have you acting, rather cocky, saying, there was like no way he could die. And just out of nowhere, we see him, coughing up a massive amount of blood. It was a ton of blood that we saw him, coughing up, and also falling to like the floor as well. And so right now, Shinya, because right now he's in charge, he was saying that, they were actually going to, meet up with the Naomi squad. We all know it's a Trident guy, because that way they could all plan their next move, because they were not actually going to abandon Guren, because we all know that their goal, it was not to come back alive, it was to come back with victory, and obviously they need Guren for that. And so now with like, you acting on his own, and of course when they all, realize what he's done, we have Shinya, we have Kimi, and we have Yoshi. They were all trying to like make you spit up the pills, and we see now that out of nowhere he unleashed, some kind of power that actually repelled them. And then we see now, some kind of like black fog was like, surrounding his body, and I thought maybe that right there was like his other power coming out, but no, we see him now, falling to the ground, and then we have Shinonwa checking him, and we see now that supposedly, Yu was dead, and they were all freaking out, and you could just see the horror on like Shinonwa's face, and to me, that right there was so heartbreaking, because I am so used to like seeing Shinonwa act all smug like, and so seeing her show like horror, fear, and terror for the first time in like forever, that right there, really like got to me, and also it was definitely like at the same time it was nice to get that emotion out of her, but at the same time it was just so messed up because right now, you is like dead to them. And so now finally we have Mika and those 5 vampires, arriving where Crowley was like getting attacked at. And I called this because, right now these vampires, they have realized that, Crowley was like under attack, and obviously, they wanted to check on him, but Mika was like, no, we can't do that. And we see him now killing one by stabbing him in the back. And I called this. I did say that, Mika was probably was going to lead them, to their death. I just didn't know that like Mika was going to be the one killing them. But Mika is like pretty powerful. It's obvious that those vampires, even though they were fodder, like I said, Mika is definitely on like a noble level, and so hopefully we can see more of her power. But that right there is like where the episode ended, because right now he wants to find you, and so obviously next week he will. But I do wonder why he gets so messed up. But obviously all those questions will be answered next week. For episode, like I said, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was crazy as hell, but I was still digging it. But as always, don't forget to let me know what you guys thought, and please do not forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.